Afternoon radio and race fans. Part of my interest on this channel is automotive, and this video is about illegally sold and illegally manufactured automobile parts and quite possibly counterfeit. Out at the Hanford site, nuclear site, there was an inch or an inch and a quarter thick manual on spotting counterfeit industrial parts. I bought this apparently AC Delco flexible brake hose for my 78 Blazer from Summit Racing. Comes in a nice box declaring AC Delco Professional, which is a bald-faced lie. There's no such thing as professional auto parts, and auto mechanics are not professionals, and it is illegal for them to claim they are. From Summit Racing, the supposed Delco brake line, made in China. They're obeying country of origin law there. So I know ahead of time for that old truck, it ain't going to be an original GM line. The line is the correct design, the correct fitting on that end, nice strain relief boot. But you're wrong clip. That fitting end there goes through the frame in the front, and there's a large clip that slides down over that, and that is not the clip. And we see a made in China label on the part. Now, federal law says that the part can be identified on the part or in the box. We have identified both with a sticker and the apparently Delco part number. Except this part is 4 violations of federal law regarding marking of a critical safety item, which is a brake hose assembly. And if you will Google FMVSS, Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards 106, you will find requirements for construction testing and marking, labeling, whatnot, of the critical component, which is a flexible brake line assembly. And the law requires a ring, not a cheap China label, to be around the hose, and also the identifying information being indelibly stamped or embossed on one of the fittings. And also on the fitting is the name of the company in Qingdao, China that apparently made this thing. The additional problem is, as far as I know, Summit Racing is not GM, not Delco. So there is a possibility, I cannot prove it, but there's a possibility that Delco are getting the real part, and a possibility, which I cannot prove, but the possibility that Summit is either getting or buying counterfeit merchandise. So I have filed a NHTSA, National Highway Traffic Safety Administration safety complaint, and also a federal counterfeit goods complaint with CBP. So the hose looks good. The rubber jacket looks like the good old-fashioned brake hose. That doesn't mean shit, because substantial testing is required for this part. As I recall, upwards of 4,000 psi pressure, and an impulse test and bending test and all kinds of tests. So the issue here is that there's required to be a ring, used to be a plastic ring, around that hose, which can only be installed at one point, and that is the point where they put the fittings on the end and swage them down. It can't be put on the hose itself. There's no point in that, and it can't be put on afterwards because it's supposed to be a close-fitting ring that can slide. That tag is not a close-fitting ring that can slide that identifies a manufacturer. It's a cheap plastic label. So this is illegal. I called Summit Racing, said this is a problem, asked to talk to a supervisor, and the supervisor tried to lie his way out of it by trying to change the topic to, oh, I'm sure Delco wouldn't make that mistake. So the lying SOBs have lost my business permanently. Mistake I can deal with. Deliberate cover-up I won't tolerate. So beware. The old parts are gone, except for a few parts on select websites that are specifically new old stock, old stuff. And nobody in their right mind would buy a brake hose that's 20 or 30 years old. Be very careful. This part can kill somebody. Did it.